Welcome to First Parish in Needham, a Unitarian Universalist congregation of humanists, theists, atheists, agnostics, seekers, and interfaith families. My name is Lucy Mackey, and I have been coming to First Parish since I was born and dedicated by Reverend John Burent. I've had the amazing opportunity to be a part of this youth group for the past 3 years. You can learn more about all that's happening at First Parish by going to our website, uuneedham.org, and signing our weekly email newsletter, or by following us on social media. Our order of service is online too, at the QR code in your pews and at the website, uuneedham.updates.church. Please speak with our ushers, greeters, and Zoom hosts if you have questions or accessibility needs. At First Parish, we covenant to live out our shared values of the inherent worth and dignity of every person, respecting the earth, and co-creating beloved community. Whoever you are, whoever you love, whatever your background or identity, whatever your age or stage, whether you walked or rolled in, and whatever you're participating from, you are welcome here.
Our Chalice Lighting this morning comes from Euro-American UU Minister, Rev. Eric Walter Woodstrom. We light this chalice for all who are here and all who are not, for all who have ever walked through our doors, for those who may yet find this spiritual home, and for those who can't even yet imagine. For each of us, and for us all, may this flame burn warm and bright. Our first hymn this morning, My Life Flowers On, an Endless Song, has music from 19th century American Baptist minister Rev. Robert Walworth Lowry, and lyrics adapted by modern
everyone. My name is Raina Hanady, and I've been part of this church's youth group for the past year and a half or so. In the Unitarian Universalist tradition, the covenant is a set of promises the membership of a congregation strives to honor with one another and out in the world. Whether we participate in our community online or in the building, we strive to live these promises every day. Please say along with me the words of our parish covenant as in your orders of service. We gather as a loving community to encourage and comfort one another. We gather as a diverse community to support each other in our search for spiritual truth. We gather as a service community to live our beliefs through action and care for our world. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Sarah Elizabeth. I am the Director of Lifespan Religious Exploration here at First Parish in Needham. And I'm so excited to see you all here today on our annual Youth Sunday. This year, when we were talking about what sort of theme we would have, it started to make sense that focusing on community was where we needed to focus. Our service this year during vacation week centered on learning about our homeless and unhoused neighbors, what it means to be an ally to those in our community that people forget are our neighbors. There is always one person I think of first when I think about who's my neighbor, and that is Mr. Rogers of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. There's a particular idea the word neighbor brings to you. An excitement, a familiarness. Fun fact, for those that may not know, I was raised Presbyterian, and as a Presbyterian, I am legally obligated to tell you that Mr. Rogers was actually an ordained Presbyterian minister. It makes sense, he has a ministerial presence. For those of you that might have watched, or today might watch Daniel Tiger, you might have seen his trolley. Is there a trolley here? It's our neighborhood trolley. For all of us, how exciting. Oh, it seems like there are a couple of me. All right, I think we fixed it. All right, good. So, we have our neighborhood trolley. But what is a neighborhood trolley without neighbors? So let's consider what we as neighbors may do for ourselves, for our community, and for one another. Who here has played a game called The Wind Blows, like For the Wind Blows? Has anybody? For those that might not have heard of it, everyone usually sits around in a circle of chairs. And you will say, someone in the middle will say, the wind blows for everyone who has been to the state of Texas. Okay, there you go, yeah. It's called by a lot of different names, so you might have heard it in some other way. Then everybody gets up, runs around the circle, tries to find another chair. We are gonna be doing a neighborhood trolley version of this. While the trolley moves around its track, around this side of the congregation, I invite you to listen to who I ask to join our neighborhood trolley and either join in a conga line style to excitedly move down the track, or if that is not something you wish to do, perhaps wiggle your fingers with joy from your seat, though it's much more fun to do a conga line. So, an example of what I might say is, our neighborhood trolley runs for those who volunteer. What do we say? All aboard! So, who here, if you volunteer, come join the conga line. Chugga, 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 chugga. Joyful fingers, chugga, 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 chugga. This is who our neighborhood trolley runs for. Look at all of these people who help their community, who love their neighbors. Look at us going on this track. All right, keep going on the track. Now, our neighborhood trolley runs for those who recycle and care for our environment so that we have a safe and beautiful and healthy planet. All right, maybe everybody do a chugga 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 chugga. I know that's more a train noise, but I only know so many trolley noises. All right, now our neighborhood trolley runs for those who help their neighbors in need. Maybe you help mow somebody's lawn when they are sick. Maybe you bring them food. This is a good question. Do they have to be your literal neighbors? Anybody near you can be your neighbor. And now finally, they do not have to be in physical proximity to you. They can be neighbors of our heart. Finally, our neighborhood trolleys runs one last time for those who love their neighbors. Chugga, 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 chugga. Yeah, there you go. And with that, let's all say, to remind ourselves to have our neighbors join us on this beautiful trolley, all aboard! All aboard! And with that, our trolley is gonna head back to the station. Chugga, 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 ding, ding. I appreciate everyone who joined our neighborhood trolley. If you didn't join us around this particular track today, that's okay. There is still time. There is time to think about who is your neighbor, whether they are near or far. There is time to think about who is your neighbor. Who do you remember as your neighbor, and who do you need to pay attention? Remind yourself. As Mr. Rogers says, won't you be my neighbor? As we consider all of this, we are going to invite our children to process down to religious exploration, following their wonderful teachers for today, Deborah Niles and Reverend Katie. You might notice that our recessional song's a little different than usual. We will be singing, "Won't You Be My Neighbor?" So I hope you enjoy this little change of pace. And with that, let's sing our kids and our teachers down.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Would you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Would you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor?
This is the time during our worship service where we share joys and concerns that are very close to our hearts and lives. Our ministerial intern, Dara Bryans, is receiving pre-submitted candles at candles@uuneedham.org by the Friday before the service at midnight. If you're watching on Zoom or on YouTube, you may type your candle into the chat box to be held by the community watching the service with you. Our one pre-submitted candle is a candle of concern from Peter Panoff. He lights this candle for his grandfather, who woke on Monday unable to see with either of his eyes. He's been in and out of the hospital all week, and Peter is deeply concerned for his grandfather, grandmother, and for his mother who is helping them during this time. We wish them wellness and healing and love. If you are in the building and have a joy or concern to share, please come forward, light a candle, then state your name, your pronouns, and briefly describe what is on your heart.
I am Haley Willett. My pronouns are she, her. And this is something of a mixed candle, one of personal joys and concerns for others. Let's get the bad out of the way first. I have been very worried about the state of the world, given the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, the tensions over Taiwan, the protests in Iran, and it feels like there's not much I can do except pray for a good outcome. And it is, even when it is brutal even to just watch from the sidelines and see this happen in real time. For the positive side, things that keep me going is I've been having a lot of positive momentum recently. I moved into my own place. I got my car back after like weeks of it being in the shop. My friend moved in with me, and I'm feeling better about myself in general. So, you know, silver linings.
Hello, my name is George Rapolt, and I'm lighting this candle for my wife, Tabby, who is still gravely ill, but seems to be gradually recovering.
Hi, I'm Jen Duhamel. My pronouns are she, her, and I think this is probably inspiration. I was at the doctor's office on Friday, and there was a gentleman who was an elderly Asian man who had a significant hearing loss and was trying to make his follow-up appointment. I was waiting to check in, and there was another gentleman waiting to check in, and we were next to each other but separated by a row of chairs. So the man was very aggravated that he had to wait because this man was taking a little bit longer, and he was making rude comments. And I was standing there trying to figure out if I should intervene. So as the Asian man was beginning to leave, he said something very rude. So I said, everybody has a right to understand their medical information. So the Asian man left, and he gestured that I should go first. And I said, no, you seem to be very much in a hurry, you should go. And he said, okay, Karen. And I said, well, if being a Karen means standing up for racism, I'll be a Karen every day. And he said, I am a racist. And I said, well, you should be wearing your MAGA hat. So when I got up to the receptionist, she said, thank you so much, that was really brave. And I said, well, I'm a Unitarian Universalist, and our principles call us to stand up for injustice. So I just want to say that standing up for justice isn't always big gestures like going to a protest or a march. The saying is something like, it takes 1 billion raindrops to fill the ocean. And doing little things, they're not going to change that guy's mind. but we can help others to feel brave, to speak up. So it's the little gestures that can change the world. Thank you.
Now, for all the joys and sorrows that we still hold in our hearts, and for the prayers of our neighbors near and far, we light a single silent candle. May the peace in this sanctuary be felt too wherever you are participating from, as we remember that even though worshiping in different times and places, we are still deeply connected.
Hi, my name is Nikhil, and I invite you at this time to join me in the spirit of meditation as we begin this loving kindness meditation adapted from a script provided by the Mindful Awareness Research Center at UCLA. To begin this practice, let yourself be in a relaxed and comfortable position. We're going to do this practice of cultivating positive emotion, in this case, loving kindness, which is the desire for someone to be happy or yourself to be happy. It's not dependent on something, it's not conditional, it's just a natural opening of the heart to someone else or to yourself. So you can check in to your body and notice how you're feeling right now, letting whatever is here be here. Now let yourself bring to mind someone whom, the moment you think of them, you feel happy. It could be a relative, a close friend, a child, or you can always choose a pet. Have a sense of them being in front of you. You can feel them, sense them. And as you imagine them, notice how you're feeling inside. Maybe you feel some warmth, or there's some heat to your face, a smile, a sense of expansiveness. This is loving kindness. So now, having this loved one in front of you, begin to wish them well, thinking, may you be safe and protected from danger. May you be happy and peaceful. May you be healthy and strong. May you have ease and well-being. Feel this loving kindness flow from you and begin to touch this loved one, reaching out. You might think in images, you might have a sense of color or light, you might just have a feeling. May you be free from stress and anxiety. May you be free from all fear. As you're sending out these words and these feelings of loving kindness, also check into yourself and see how you're feeling inside. Imagine that this loved one turns around and begins to send it back to you. Receive this loving kindness. Take it in. They're wishing you well. May you be happy. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be safe and protected from all danger. May you have joy and well-being. Let yourself take it in. See if you can send loving kindness to yourself. You can imagine it coming in down your body from your heart. You can just have a sense of it. May I be safe and protected from danger. May I be healthy and strong. May I be happy and peaceful. May I accept myself just as I am. Sense the community in this room. Offer loving kindness to each other's soul here. May you be happy and peaceful. May you be free from all stress and anxiety and fear, worry and grief. May you have joy, happiness, and well-being. Let this loving kindness expand out, spreading in all directions. People you know, people you don't know, people you have difficulty with, people you love. Just imagine this love expanding and touching each person or animal. Whoever is touched by this loving kindness, each person is changed. Please remain seated and join in our meditative response, If I Can Stop One Heart from Breaking. The lyrics are in your orders of service and at number 292 in your gray hymnals.
Hello, everybody. My name is Emily. I've been a part of this youth group for 4 years now. This congregation has been supported by the volunteer time and treasure of its members and friends since its founding in 1711. This time in our service is when we, the modern stewards of this church, offer what we can to build and sustain a congregation and the world that we envision. This month, our collection will be split 50-50 with Generic Ministry. Generic Ministry is a Needham-based nonprofit whose volunteers gather, sort, and provide clothing, food, toiletries, blankets, and water to people experiencing homelessness on the streets of Boston. Twice a week, Generic Ministry's van is taken by volunteers to downtown Boston to minister to our neighbors there. First Parish has been a proud supporter of the Generic Ministry since its founding almost 2 decades ago, and we continue our strong support of this wonderful organization. They are currently trying to plan and fundraise for a new van as the current well-loved van becomes more and more costly to maintain due to its age and conditions while being stored outdoors. For more information on how to volunteer or otherwise support this incredible organization, visit www.genericministry.org. To donate to today's offering, you can use one of 3 different methods as described in your email detail in your order of service. You can use our Text to Give program through the number 73256, or can make a donation through our website, uuneedham.org. Or you can drop a check or cash into the collection plate, or mail a check to First Parish at 23 Dedham Avenue. Whichever way you donate, remember to specify whether your donation is meant for the plate collection or for your annual pledge. And if this is one of your first visits to First Parish, we also encourage you to fill out a yellow card in your pew and in the back of the pew in order to drop it in the collection plate, or fill out the online visitors form at uuneedham.updates.church. Thank you for everything you are able to give and help support and sustain this congregation and the vital work of our community and peers. May the ushers please come forward.
We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around.
I'm back again. And now I'll be reading a portion of Let America Be America Again, which is a poem written by African-American poet Langston Hughes in 1935. He wrote this poem while riding a train from New York City to Ohio and reflecting on his life as a struggling writer during the Great Depression. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plain seeking a home where he himself is free. America never was America to me. Let America be the dreamer's dream the dreamers dreamed. Let it be the great strong land of love where never kings connive nor tyrants scheme, that any man be crushed by one above. It never was America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic wreath, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. There's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. Say, who are you that mumbles in the dark, and who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor white, fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery's scars. I am the Native American driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the hope I seek and finding only the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I am the young man full of strength and hope, tangled in the ancient endless chain of profit, power, gain, of grab the land, of grab the gold, of grab the ways of satisfying need, of work the men, of take the pay, of owning everything for one's own greed. Yeah, I'm the one who dreamt our basic dream in the old world while still a serf of kings, who dreamt a dream so strong, so brave, so true, that even yet its mighty daring sings in every brick and stone, in every furrow turned, that's made America the land it has become. Oh, I'm the man who sailed those early seas in search of what I meant to be my home. For I'm the one who's left dark Ireland's shore and Poland's plain and England's grassy lea and torn from black Africa's strand. I came to build a homeland of the free. The free? Who said the free? Not me. Surely not me. The millions on relief today, the millions shot down when we strike, the millions who have nothing for our prey, for all of the dreams we've dreamed, and all the songs we've sung, and all the hopes we've held, and all the flags we've hung, the millions who have nothing for our pay, except the dream that's almost dead today. Oh, let America be America again, the land that never has been yet, and yet must be the land where every man is free. Here ends our reading. Please rise in body or in spirit and join in singing our next hymn this morning, All Our Architects. The lyrics are in your orders of service at numbers 288 in your gray hymnals.
All our
Our second reading this morning, the poem No Man is an Island, comes from poet John Donne. No man is an island, entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as if a manor of thy friends or of thine own were. Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. Here ends our reading.
To quote Nikhil, here I am again. When we were thinking about this service, talking about neighbors and community, it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to have individual collections. The reality is that we're all individuals, a part of a whole. Being a community, that means that yes, we need to see ourselves individually. Architects, architects of this world and time. But we need to do it together, listening, collaborating, talking with our neighbors. And so we today are going to be brainstorming together for our reflection. In just a moment, I am going to ask you all to, in pairs, in your pews, or even a small group, you're mostly adults, you can handle it yourself, I trust you to break yourselves up. But I'm going to ask you a couple of times to reflect on a question that has to do with our community. So to start us off, first introduce yourselves in case you don't know one another. And in your pairs or small groups, I would love for you to talk about what is something or a couple of somethings that you are doing now to make your community a better place. So we're going to take just a couple minutes to reflect on that in small groups, and then I'll call you back. All right, go forth, discuss. "20-second warning, then to wrap it up. As our conversations wind to a close, I promise I'm going to let you all talk to each other again in just a minute. So now we are going to together reflect. What are some of the things we are already doing in our communities to make them better? I am going to ask you to start shouting out. I will repeat for the sake of the mic, but to give you some examples of maybe what's already happening, I'm going to have a couple of our youth tell you how they are bettering our community.
For the past 3 years, I've volunteered at the Charles River YMCA to coach at the adaptive swim team.
For the past 2 years, I've been volunteering at the Needham Community Farm.
So we have some examples of volunteering. What do you all do? Shout it out. Pollinator, what was that? Gardening for pollinators. I love that, a way to help our planet. I heard something over here, but I missed it. Helping to save the environment. Yes?
Bit of a small thing, but I always show interest in like other people's like excuse me, sorry, my brain is kind of fried. If they're clearly not from the US, I try to show interest in their culture, accommodate them, make them feel welcome.
Making connections across cultures to welcome others. Wonderful. Yes? Making meals for those recovering from illness and those who are grieving. What a beautiful gift to those in our community. There are so many things people do in our communities in big and small ways. We've heard a small sampling, but I am sure all of us think, what else could I do? Or maybe the ways that I've been helping don't feel helpful like they used to. So now we're gonna have another little meeting with our groups. Mix up groups if you want, or return to the same. And I invite you to have a conversation about what do you want to do to help our community? What is a goal you have, something you want to start to make our community a better place? And then we will share those. So please take a couple of minutes. And I will say also, for those of you on Zoom, I invite you to type in the chat what some of these answers are. Thank you. And so we draw our brainstorming to a close. And we come for this second part of our time of collective reflection. What do we want to do to make our communities better? Something here we at the church are doing, particularly inspired by the wonderful people we spoke to about their work with Boston Healthcare for the Homeless and generic ministries. Here at First Parish, we are working on getting Narcan to be stored here to help people be trained in how to administer Narcan for those who have overdosed on drugs, so that our church can be a place where people can learn how to better our community wherever they may go. We also have Emily, who would love to tell you about something she is thinking about doing after our service trip last week.
As I had mentioned before, the generic ministry van is the current van is a little older and overall is very well stocked and very well put together, but we're starting a fundraiser to help reduce the maintenance costs on that van and help further serve the homeless and unhoused in Boston with a new van. So I'm in part hoping to help fundraise and as well as just volunteer to help restock that van. Thank you.
So these are some of the things on the horizon, where we are going, how we want to grow and help our neighbors. What are some of the things that you all came up with? Yes. Promoting affordable housing in town. Amen. What else? Yes. Helping us grow as a congregation so that we may better our community. Absolutely. What else do we aim to do so we can help grow and better our community and our neighbors? Come on, one. We like to have 3. Yes. Working on taking the stigma and shame away from mental illness. We all know there are countless things that can be done. We are busy people leading busy lives. But the reality is that our community can only become greater and better if we make it so. We need to talk about these things in community, reflect on them together, because that's how we hold each other accountable. That's how we help each other remember our values, the connections we have that we may forget in times of stress, because together we make our community. We're going to be going into our anthem, played by the wonderful Joe Calzada, and it might seem a little different than what you would expect for a service focused on neighbors. It's reflection. But we know that when we see ourselves, we should see our neighbors. And we know that only by reflecting on our own actions and who we are, can we make this world a better place.
Thank you again for joining us for our youth service this Sunday. As we near the close of our service, let me share with you some brief highlights of what's coming up soon at First Parish. All are welcome to social hour, both here in the building and on Zoom, right after worship has ended. We also have our visitors information session down the hall in the parlor and our emergency marshal training here in the sanctuary right after social hour. Caregivers support group will meet on Zoom at 3 p.m. today and the Sunday night book group at 7:30. Coming up this week, on Tuesday evening on Zoom, we will have a budget Q&A session with our finance committee and parish officers. On Thursday evening in the parlor, we will have a death cafe facilitated by death doula Ebba Legaspi. On Thursday and Friday, we will have our regular convening Zoom spiritual practice groups, writing escapes, vespers, meditation ministry, and creative escapes. And don't forget about Family Fun Night this Friday the 5th in the parlor and youth room. Next Sunday, we're excited to host friends from the Lewis D. Brown Peace Institute for Worship and Children's Religious Exploration. Please be in touch with our member Becky Siebens if you're interested in participating in our Mother's Day Walk for Peace team. Remember, there's more information and all the Zoom links available through our weekly e-newsletter in the Bell Notes. I'd like to invite up Laura for some additional announcements.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, I'm not usually up here. This is fun. Hi. I have a couple of music announcements for us today, one a little sad and one good. So we were planning on having our second To the Fore concert, focusing on marginalized voices in our community this coming Sunday with Juan Suarez. But due to unforeseen circumstances and illness, we're going to need to postpone that until the fall. So we're hoping to have that in September, and we'll give more information about that when we have it. However, we do have another one coming up in June. On June 4th at 4 p.m., we will have Jean Huang, who has played violin for us last year, and Kelvin Koenig, who is our pianist from last year, will be giving a concert that day featuring music almost exclusively written by women and non-binary composers, including a premiere by Kelvin and maybe a premiere by me. We're still working on that. So that's something to look forward to on June 4th. One other thing that's actually the day before that is a good friend of mine, Soren Ostenfeld, is the music director at First Parish in Malden. And we've been talking for a while about wanting to do a Pride Month day of singing. So I'll make sure this gets sent out and I'll put posters up. But we're going to have, yes, Pride Month day of singing at First Parish in Malden on Saturday, June 3rd from 12 to 4 p.m. And I'll just read you the description here. The first annual Pride Month day of singing celebrates the power, resilience, and joy found in queer and trans voices and communities. All are welcome however you identify. This event is intentionally multi-generational for all ages and is consciously designed to create meaningful creative space for everyone, whether it's your first time ever singing with other people or you're a professional vocalist, and everyone somewhere in between. Nursery childcare is available for up to age 6, and every session includes an all ages option. So there'll be an opening circle, large group community sing all together, a little snack break, and then some smaller sessions with a sight reading party, that's with me, and a musical play and crafting party with Soren, and then another session that's a trans community singing circle or a multi-generational singing circle. And then we'll have a closing circle to end with. So just a way to have joy of singing and celebrating Pride Month with different songs and things that way. So we hope that you might be able to join us that day. If you have any questions, you can send them my way. So thank you so much, everyone.
We always extinguish our chalice here with words promising to carry its flame in our hearts until we are together again. no matter how long it is until we are all together again. Please join me from home or here in the building in saying those words written by UU minister Reverend Elizabeth Sell Jones. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, nor the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please rise in body or in spirit and join in singing our final hymn, There Is More Love Somewhere. The lyrics are in your order of service at number 95 in your gray hymnals.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere.
Our closing benediction comes from Reverend Dr. Cynthia Landrum. We leave this gathered community, but we don't leave our connection, our concerns, our care for each other, our service to each other, to the world, and to our faith continues. Until we are together again, friends, be strong, be well, and be true, and be loving.